Alright, so I'm pretty sure
Welcome back. Season episode 3 of Alternative Facts.
season one,
Season
episode
one.
3. Plot twist. So apparently I have a wife in Mexico that I never knew about.
Get the fuck out, really?
No, I ain't got no fucking wife.
Why would you?
Alright, like who believes in marriage anymore? Isn't like the divorce rate like 53% now or
Is it
something
really?
like that? Something like that.
Damn, is it? That's
Something
terrible.
close, not too far off.
That's
But,
amazing, actually. I love it.
Today, it would be about Justice League, not the series that was on, Cartoon Network. That was
That was
a
a good
beautiful piece of work.
It was.
But
That was
the
really good.
the movie that was in theaters relatively recent. I think it's still is it still in theaters?
I have no idea, bro.
But whatever.
Did you like it?
I mean, that's like saying the Stevie Wonder Like to Be Blind. But
Are you fucking serious? You didn't like the movie?
I mean, it wasn't to clarify, it wasn't terrible. I feel like it was
I liked it.
It was a solid movie.
Yeah, I
it's not
liked
something I would go re-see. Like, yeah, I gotta go see it. Like,
Yeah.
it definitely isn't like me trying to go re-see like Captain America and Winter Soldier. Like, I saw, I saw that like 3, 4,
Yeah, I
5,
would see fucking
10 times.
Homecoming again.
Homecoming, I felt it was a little dry, but that's
What?
That's a whole
That's
nother-
another episode we'll get into.
But
Justice League, I liked it. It was a lot different compared to the others, for sure. One thing I really stood out to me was how different Batman was. Not because it's like, well, first of all, Batman is finally using gadgets, because in the other depictions of Batman from the other actors, it was just brute force. It was just beat 'em up,
yeah, like
just fist fighting everywhere.
the Dark Knight and the
Yes.
Dark Knight Returns and the Dark Knight Rises, like
He
I
really
think like
used
the
it.
premise, not even the premise. I'm just saying like in general, like people more hooked on like the Batmobile. Like it was built like a damn tank,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
but yeah, it wasn't really like a use of his gadgets or his detective skills.
no,
it was like mostly
this
about
one-
the fighting. But
yeah.
this one is like I
Yeah.
would say it's a little bit more balanced.
But
Where you get the taste of fighting, and he does use his deductive. Like
Mhm.
the movie kind of starts off with him going to find Arthur Curry in a sense,
yeah.
but he, at the time he didn't really know
Yeah, it was.
it was like Arthur Curry. At least Arthur Curry didn't know who he was,
Mhm.
but Batman knew who he was. He knew where to go, where he was,
Yeah.
what little shack he was gonna be at,
Exactly,
and
like,
like what
he-
time of
he-
day. Like so, it was showing like okay, he did his investigative work. So it was starting to become more well balanced, like a really dope Batmobile and like that crawler. That crawler was pretty
Yeah,
dope,
yeah.
pretty dope.
Another thing that was pretty cool is how Batman was kind of like how he is in the comic books in terms of the other movies like Dark Knight Rises, Dark Knight Returns, blah blah blah. All the villains were like how it would be in real life, I guess. Because with Bane's not that small. Bane is fucking massive.
Huge.
He's huge when he puts in, when he gets the venom and stuff.
Yeah,
But in the movie, they just depicted him as
a regular buff guy.
Exactly, exactly. But in this one, you see Batman fighting like fucking demons. That
Yeah.
shit only happens in the comic books and the cartoon shows. That shit
Yeah.
doesn't happen in the movies. So
It really-
it's just
yeah.
like, yo, what the fuck? Yo, Batman's out there. He's a fucking human.
And he's keeping up with people
he's keeping up
like
with
Superman,
fucking
Wonder Woman,
Yeah.
Aquaman, the
Yeah.
Flash. All right, now that we're on the Flash,
Here we go.
don't get me
again.
wrong. Well, it's almost like episode 1 again.
Yeah, we're-
like, but first of all, actually, let me get to do this first.
Mm.
That Superman chin job was ridiculous.
Yeah, that mustache. Yeah.
Like I know he was doing another movie and all that,
was bullshit.
but they didn't have to CGI that chin.
No.
Like I rather than make an excuse to why his beard. It would have made more sense for him to keep the beard
Yeah,
because
because he came back from,
came back from
dead.
the dead, and then even
Rise
when
from
Batman
your
said it,
grave.
even when Batman said it, it was like his body doesn't decay and his cells don't decay. So I'm like, technically his beard can still grow. So,
Yeah.
even though he was dead in theory. So I'm like, it would have made more sense for him to keep the beard than do that terrible CGI chin job.
Yeah, that was fucking shit.
Now back to the Flash. That retarded run.
But
Like-
you know why he did that though, right?
I don't know.
He said
It
that
looked
he-
like his balls were too close to his leg or something. Like
Wait, which at the end? When they
in
were-
general, like his running just looked like.
Oh, they're talking about like the little stance he did.
Nah,
Because-
like imagine like I don't want to
Yeah,
say
it was kind of weird, but I'm not a big fan of the costume.
that. The costume was a lot like the Injustice costume.
Yeah, it's like Power Rangers in a way. Where
I mean, it was Morphin time,
yeah, it was Morphin time. I don't know. I kind of don't like the suit, but I think it's pretty cool. I really want to see the Flashpoint movie. I think that's gonna be pretty dope.
If they mess that movie up,
Yeah.
we're gonna have a problem.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
Flashpoint, just the animated movie alone
Dude.
was like
That's
some
my
of the
favorite
best.
one. That was my
That was
favorite
like
one.
that was like the best.
Yeah.
And
Dude,
it was just
two
like,
Batmans? Are you fucking kidding me?
oh
Yes,
my
please.
god, like.
Yes,
And then like the one who the guy who played the comedian in
yeah,
the
Watchmen.
Watchmen
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
Batman's
yeah,
father,
yeah.
and I was
Mhm.
like, yo,
I
they
was like,
couldn't have picked a better guy to
Exactly.
play the Batman from the Flashpoint universe because he has a physique as well as like
Mhm.
the the salt and pepper hair.
But you know what's funny? They say that the comedian is one of the Jokers. And
that's the running theory. Like I
Yeah.
said, that's like that whole comic, the Rebirth thing,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
New
yeah.
52 and all that,
Mhm.
and that's just getting out of control. Well, I won't say getting out of control. I love the.
Yeah, it's
I love Rebirth mostly. New 52 was like in and out depending on some stories,
yeah.
but Rebirth is definitely juicy.
Rebirth is doing it so much better.
So much better, but that's also for another episode. We can discuss that as well.
Yeah, word.
But
Leave it in the comments. LOL.
LOL, like, share, subscribe, leave it in the comments, send the emails, whatever. Send me your girlfriend's number. But yeah, like I said, the Flash running got on my nerves, and definitely Diana. She was still solid. She's been
Yeah.
relatively consistent.
Uh-huh.
Even her movie was a lot better than most of the DC movies
I
that
actually
came
like
out.
that one. I actually like the one.
Yeah, I just didn't like the ending, that end fight scene where like, oh, I find out like I'm part
yeah.
God, and then
Yeah.
just the same. I just don't like the same moves, like the clashing of the bracelets, and that's pretty much about all she got.
You know she was pregnant during that. I think it was that one. Yeah. She was actually pregnant during that film.
Yeah, she was pregnant during
Yeah, like
that
she
one.
had like a green screen on her belly to like.
Yeah, make it. I mean, like I
Yeah.
said, so I can't really blame her for
Yeah,
not really
yeah,
being
exactly.
able to do too
Yeah,
much. Like even regardless,
But
if
she wasn't though, like
still was
she
a
can
solid
still
movie.
fuck you up because
Yeah.
I think she was.
She was in the military.
Yeah, she will fuck you up. Yeah.
she had hands in real life.
Yeah.
So
You don't want to
because-
catch some shits either.
so it was still a solid movie, So her character's always been consistent. I like Jason Momoa as as an Aquaman.
But then again, we'll see how he does in the solo film.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of on a team, the chemistry was definitely
Oh
there.
yeah. He's kind of like the jock, kind of a badass, like the football player type.
With a little bit of humor.
Yeah,
So it was definitely. I like the Barry Allen. He was just a little too clumsy for my taste, but in terms of his character itself, like
Yeah, he's like
he was a
really nerdy.
the
emotional
comedic
self.
relief, like
Yeah.
he's like, I never really fought anybody before. I just pushed some people
Yeah,
and
whatever.
run away. And like,
That was
so
a good one.
yeah, so I was like, yeah, I actually really enjoy his character. Like I said, overall, it wasn't a terrible movie as some people try to make it out to seem. Everyone was like, yo, it's whack. I'm just like,
you're bugging.
I think a lot of them were just going with the critics, with the
Yeah,
Rotten
yeah,
Tomatoes
fuck
thing. And I'm
critics.
just like, I don't really do what the critics
Yeah,
say.
fuck 'em.
Like, if it's a solid movie, just like the movie Bright, which also
Bright was really good.
I enjoyed
another
Bright.
episode. Dude, we can go on. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, Bright was definitely a solid movie. It's one of those situations where critics say one thing,
Yeah,
but in reality, the movie is actually good,
Exactly.
and it's actually enjoyable. Don't get me wrong; like there were some choices I didn't really like. Like the way they decided to bring Superman back, I just really hope they would have just did the Kryptonian healing process when like they did the Death of Superman. So I really would have preferred that. At least it would have been like more relatable because everyone knows the story of the Death of Superman when he was just in a Kryptonian stasis so his body can heal and all that. But instead they decided to use what was it, the Mother Box, and then they used the Kryptonian ambiotic chamber, and then the Flash had to run to jump started, and then the chamber was like the Mother Box was a catalyst for the chamber in order to restart Superman's heart and bring him back to life and all that stuff. But I didn't personally prefer that, but besides that, the movie wasn't as bad as a lot of people try to make it seem like.
It was good.
And it was a solid movie. I would have rather seen it in theaters. I didn't. I saw it online, really good copy.
Really? I saw it in
HD
theaters.
720, but
Nah, I gotta see it in theaters, man.
yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't have been upset if I saw it in theaters. Like I wouldn't have been.
Nah, it was good. I liked it.
So like I said, it was a relatively solid movie. Not a bad thing. I feel like there was something else I was about to say that I'm totally forgetting about.
Here we go again with your fucked up memory.
Bro, I got like Alzheimer's. Like,
Do you really?
if I had Alzheimer's, like I think only 2 minutes of this would have been like legit, and then I would have been repeating the same thing, like because I
Word.
thought like I never would have said it.
like the Cisco song.
Fun fact. So Cisco, that thong song is the same verse 3 times. So the video's wrapping up. I want you to go download it, Apple Music or Samsung Music, whatever you got. Listen to it and look up the lyrics, and you will see it's the same verse 3 times. Have fun, and you're welcome.
Latest.